Rivian has the best pickup truck on the market, electric or gas, yet the worst execution of everything else, as the company continues to struggle with more embarrassingly bad news coming out in the last couple of weeks with more new concerns about its future. I will tell you all about it, but the host of the State of Charge YouTube channel, Tom Moloughney, will be here to tell me that I am being a little too harsh on this young brand. Am I being too mean to the multi-million-dollar automaker? Well, we'll find out coming up next. Welcome to E4 Electric. If you are interested in everything that's going on in the world of electric cars, well, all you have to do is click on that subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you don't miss anything moving forward. You've probably seen tons of great reviews of the Rivian truck and maybe seen one yourself in the wild. I personally have seen 3 myself and they are great, but since I'm not really a truck guy, nobody's perfect. I just happen to prefer to only take up one spot when parking. So I have to rely on trusted truck guys in my life like Tom, and most of them report that it's the best pickup truck they've ever driven. Though for some of the features, you don't have to be a truck guy to know that Alexa-controlled frunk and a handy flashlight built into the door Rolls-Royce style are certainly a step up from any other truck that's on the road right now, electric or not. However, this is one of those stories where the product and the company that makes it are almost opposite in quality. It's kind of like a crack dealer on the street corner. The product might be great. I don't know, never tried it, but the guy selling it? Not so much. And I know what you're probably thinking, Alex, did you just compare a Rivian pickup truck to crack? Well, if you think about it, it gives you a rush. Makes your heart race. Once it's over, you want more of it. If you spend too much time using it, you will probably lose your wife and your kids. And if you want to get either one of them, you have to get it from a dealer. So yeah, I just did. So let's talk about what's happening with Rivian lately, and it's not good. You see, the biggest splash that Rivian has made in April is not their delivery numbers that are still pretty poor. It's not a new over-the-air update, and it's not even a cool YouTube video featuring their charismatic CEO, RJ Scaringe. No, it is the fact that both of its major and most prominent investors, Ford and Amazon, had to post net losses in their quarterly reports due to how much Rivian stock has tumbled this year so far. Ford lost over $5 billion on Rivian stock, and Amazon lost almost $8 billion, making it the very first negative quarter for Amazon since 2015. Yes, Rivian's poor performance reflected into its poor stock performance has made Amazon, one of the most successful tech industry giants, lose money for the first time in 7 years. It would take pretty much half of all the people who live here in the United States to sign up and pay their Prime membership for that entire quarter to compensate for Amazon's investment loss in Rivian. And the other half will just have to wait for the third day to receive their pair of Crocs and hairspray. Now, don't get me wrong, both Ford and Amazon are still very much in the plus with their Rivian investment. And hopefully, once Rivian stops trying to, lie and cheat their customers and the media, the company will get back to doing well again since their product is exceptional. I would rave more about it, but I'm all out of the drug dealer analogies. Now, part of the reason for Rivian stock's disastrous performance is that Ford has decided to pass on building a vehicle together. Now, that's not a good sign, but it does make sense why Ford has backed out of the deal. If you think about it, look at what Ford has done since Rivian's unveiling. Mind you, Rivian was in the stealth mode for almost a decade before that. They have designed, unveiled, took to production, and are just about to start deliveries of their own all-electric pickup truck at half of the starting price and are planning another one. And it looks like Ford will make way more of those than Rivian will make of their electric trucks. Now, essentially, the partnership with Ford was supposed to be kind of like a sugar daddy relationship. Ford, the older, more established partner, was supposed to shower Rivian with money, and in return, Rivian, the young and pretty one, was supposed to learn how to adult without trying to ruin your quarterly report. It was right there in Ford's Seeking Arrangements dating profile. Yeah. This partnership, including acquiring Ford's know-how, which would have helped Rivian to avoid struggles with the production ramp-up, was for Rivian to lose, and unfortunately, they did just that. I mean, in the first quarter, Rivian has made only about 2,500 vehicles and delivered just half of them. Not sure what happened with the other half, so I can only assume they're being used in rotation to try to climb this hill. And we don't really know how many of those were Amazon delivery vans, which at some point seemed to be a higher priority for Rivian, and Rivian has continually declined to disclose how many Amazon delivery vans have been built so far. And this brings me to another potential issue that may be going on inside Rivian. I will tell you all about it in just 1 second, but before that, a quick reminder that this video is brought to you by Masterworks. Later on, I'm going to show you a really innovative way to invest into something you never thought you could afford. So stay tuned to find out how. So here's another concern that I have about Rivian. As you probably know, Rivian essentially is a B2C as well as B2B company. It's making consumer vehicles like the R1T and the R1S, but it's also making commercial vehicles which are delivery vans for Amazon. But here's the part that worries me. Since the first Rivian Amazon van started its real-world testing, there were a bunch of videos that people took of them. But now, a half a year later, I haven't seen a single one. Plenty of videos of the R1Ts in the wild, but none of the delivery vans. Maybe I'm not subscribed to the right TikTok channels, or maybe I don't order enough hairspray from Amazon to see one in my neighborhood. But since I don't have a good answer, I can only ask a good question and suggest that something is going on. Now, Rivian's PR department appears to have taken a strategy of simply not talking to journalists like me who ask the tough questions and refuse to only put out positive reviews. But here's another reason to believe there is trouble in paradise when it comes to the Rivian Amazon deal. You see, back in January, Amazon has announced that they will start ordering electric delivery vans from Stellantis next year, when Stellantis will start the production of an all-electric version of their Ram ProMaster commercial van. And if you examine the Rivian's deal with Amazon, you will find out that it is not very favorable to Rivian. Amazon can all but essentially walk away from the deal if they don't like what they see, and right now, I can't imagine they're too happy. Not with the deliveries of the van, and certainly not with what's happening with their investment. For more, we turn to the host of the State of Charge YouTube channel, who's not only a Rivian reservation holder, but someone whose calls Rivian still returns, Tom Moloughney. All right, Tom, so you've spent some time with the truck. As a matter of fact, you're just about to get it for about a week to spend more quality time with it. Do you agree with pretty much everybody else who's reviewed it that it is indeed the best truck, not just electric truck, the best truck ever made?
So, well, I haven't driven them all, and I do have an F-150 Lightning on order, which I haven't driven yet. I'm going to drive that this week with the media drive. But I was blown away, Alex, and it's why after the media drive that we did that last, I think, September or October, I went out and placed an order for one. I bought one, so I was really impressed. It's an incredibly capable vehicle, both on-road and off-road.
So this is so weird that the product is so good, obviously, but the company is somehow all of a sudden is being mismanaged left and right. And first of all, do you agree that there's something just happened maybe half a year ago that just kind of started, turning the ship in the wrong direction? And what is it, and how can they fix it?
Well, so, I don't know about a half a year ago where something happened, but I will say that the price increase and then non-increase for reservation holders was really mishandled. That was handled really poorly, and I mean so much so that RJ Scrange, the CEO, had to come out and apologize, and which he did, and we got to give him credit for that. When the person at the top takes responsibility for a mistake, and it was a huge mistake. I mean, we covered this. I wrote a long article about it on Inside EVs, and it was an extreme blunder. No two ways about it. But I guess that's where we diverge a little bit on our opinions of gross mishandling of the company, and I don't see that as much as you do. Has it been a little bumpy of a launch? Yeah, but I kind of expected that. It's really hard to launch a new car company, and they're going through some growing pains right now.
Well, speaking about, being it hard to launch a company, one of their strategic partners is Ford. And that's the company that since the Rivian's unveiling, I mean, they had 10 years head start before that, but since the unveiling, Ford has, design and essentially unveiled and now pretty much took to market a brand new all-electric truck. Isn't there something, Rivian could have done to, learn from Ford that's obviously more than capable of doing the same?
Listen, nothing replaces experience. Ford's been doing this for 120 years. They know how to build vehicles, so it doesn't surprise me at all that Ford was able to design, engineer, and bring to market a vehicle in a short time frame. They're very good at what they do. These startups, Tesla, Lucid, Rivian, they all struggle in the beginning. And so, no, it doesn't surprise me. As far as, learning from Ford, you can watch, you can analyze, but until you do it and you experience it, I don't know really what they could learn from. They could hire seasoned professionals that worked in manufacturing from Ford and other companies for sure. But I don't think you're suggesting Ford would help a competitor to build a vehicle better. They certainly wouldn't do that.
Well, they're not really a competitor. I mean, first of all, they're Ford's investor and a strategic partner, right? At the same time, yes, there are things you can learn. And Tesla and Lucid, I'm not really sure if they're great examples because they didn't really have, a strategic partner. Even though Toyota was a partner to Tesla, a strategic partner that actually had a know-how. And in this case, and RJ has actually bragged about it that we have a partner that can really help us out.
So let's walk it back a minute. You said they're not competitors. I mean, Ford's releasing the F-150 Lightning a couple months after Rivian released their all-electric pickup truck. Right now they're the only two all-electric pickup trucks on the market. Well, Ford will be in a matter of weeks. My build date's May 16th. I should be getting mine within a month or so. So they are definitely competitors. And, I think, that whole partnership with Ford is kind of strange. Ford has walked that back. I think in the beginning, they might have thought that they could learn something from Rivian or maybe bring vehicles to market quicker because, at the time when they formed that partnership, I don't know if Ford was all in. But Ford definitely is taking a different path now. They are all in. Something happened at Ford for them to realize they need to go all in. So I think once that decision was made, they kind of said, you know what? We don't need this little startup to help us. We're Ford. We're going to do all this in-house, and we don't need their help.
I mean, I really think that, the adventure vehicle from Rivian, double of the starting price than Ford, that I think is just kind of targeting the mainstream buyers, are a bit different. But who makes more electric trucks this year, Ford or Rivian?
Ford. Because right from day one, they're going to hit the ground running. Ford it means business with the Lightning. I mean, the CEO recently said this could be the most important vehicle for the company since the Model T. I mean, when the CEO says something like that, they are putting all the power of their brand behind the Lightning, and they are going to try to make as many of them as possible. Ford knows what they're doing with manufacturing, Alex. You're not going to see, you know, in after 3 months of deliveries that they've only delivered 2,000 trucks. You know, if that's the case, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, and I agree, except for, I don't know, I feel like if it was the most important, vehicle since the Model T, they would have put it on its own electric platform. But that's probably a discussion for a different time of day. So,
I want to discuss it now. I'm cutting you off.
Let's do it.
They did that so they can offer it at the $40,000 price point that you just talked about, the half price. You couldn't do that if it was a completely ground up, re-engineered vehicle. They wanted to make it affordable for the work, for fleets. And that was the only way to do it. And, with a big vehicle like that, there's a lot of room to work with. And, I've driven in the vehicle. I haven't driven it yet. We'll see when we drive it. I think it's going to have a good driving experience. But, and also walking back, you talking price-wise. I have an F-150 Lightning on order and the Rivian R1T. They're the same price. I think it's like $2,000 difference in those two vehicles. So, I'm standing by my point that they are 100% direct competitors.
All right, Tom gets the last word, but if you want to hear more from him, don't forget to subscribe to his YouTube channel. I put a link to it in the description of this video. So now, as I promised, let's talk about our sponsor, Masterworks, and it's got to be one of the most interesting and unique ways to invest your money. What I'm just about to show you is one of the most innovative ways to invest that I've seen. It's not stock or gold or crypto, it's actually art. So, why invest in art? Well, for starters, I have come to find out that contemporary art many times outperforms the most traditional investments like S&P 500 by almost threefold in the last 25 years. And I know what you're probably saying, Alex, I don't have all of this money to invest into these big pieces of art. Well, actually, you don't have to. You can now own shares in some of the amazing art within the Masterworks platform. All you have to do is create an account, browse their list of offerings, and click on the painting you want to invest in. You can hold on to it until it sells and collect your portion of the proceeds, or you can sell it to someone else. How cool is that? Now, there is a wait list to be approved, but if you use the link in the description of this video, you will bypass the line. Happy art shopping! All right, looking forward to all of your comments. Other than that, see you guys next time, and remember to stay charged.